Xena was terrifying. It was huge. I remember the first read-through, actually, when I first got to meet Lucy Lawless and Renee, who played Gabrielle, and having to do it in an American accent. And I actually remember Lucy afterwards coming and giving me a couple of tips and just being kind of like in awe of her. But it was a great way to, you know, to get in there. The horse riding is incredibly challenging. Well, you've got to keep acting, and that's one thing they always tell you as a new actor, is never ever lie about how good you are at riding horses. And now I see why. Because you're on these beautiful stallions and you're meant to be a warrior queen and ride the stallion in, you know, with one arm on the reins whilst hitting your mark and meeting Xena and having this whole conversation, trying to remember your lines with 500 extras. And yeah, I just remember that this first scene that I ever did where I had to ride the horse, and of course those ladies were amazing at it. They could do it with their eyes closed, but it was terrifying for me. But I did it. I remember being called into the producer's office after we shot the first 2 episodes, and he played through all the rushes and pointed out everything I was doing wrong. So you can you can imagine where that put me in my head. I mean, it's a huge lesson and it's a reality, isn't it? But for a young actress, it was a little bit scary. At the same time, I rose above that, and yeah, I'm really proud of my work as a newbie on that show, and of course got to work with a huge cast of really good actors who, yeah, taught me lots. Elektra was so much fun. That was a character that came together once the hair was done and, you know, the bondage costume was on, and, you know, and the way everyone reacted to her was kind of how the character developed. That's how you knew that she was this pretty sexy, show-stopping woman, you know. But more from everyone else, you know, when they say sometimes that, you know, don't get too much in your head, let everyone else determine how you're going to be, you know. That was, yeah, Elektra was a great example of that, because I don't always feel like that. That amazing. Another great, gutsy, emotional role, which was fun to do, and that was my first time working with Simon Bennett, who was a director that I went on to work with quite a bit in TV, so that was really nice. He's kind of someone that makes you go to all the places you don't want to go as an actor, so you kind of have a love-hate relationship with him. I had a couple of big emotional scenes in it, and I just remember he just pushed me. He was like, take 2, he's like, that's just not good enough. He was like, you just need to go there. You need to think about what you're saying and why she's saying this. And all of a sudden it was like, whoa, 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 okay, yep. So I had to go there, and I did. And it's a great piece of work. I'll tell you that, because I took that piece on my show reel to Australia, and on that piece alone, they went, we want you in our books. A lot of improvisation for that show. It was just about seeing how far you could push it, you know, and getting to play a stripper called Chocolate, quite far. And a great male energy to be around too. So that was fun. Of course, crazy costumes. Yeah, the sluttier the better. Yeah, and it was a location shoot, you know, so we were in the strip clubs, you know, the morning after the night after. So it was quite smelly. But fun, added to it. I do recall one director wanting us to get into the water at Mermaids strip club, yeah, but he got turned down quite quickly. You know, they have the, yeah, no. I'll tell you something funny about Chocolate. I originally auditioned for her, and she was meant to be a transvestite. Yeah. So my sister's a makeup artist, and she did this amazing makeup. I was meant to be a man. I'm still not sure to this day if I was meant to. I can't remember what they figured out in the end. But she is kind of got that, is she or isn't she? Is she packing or not? Kind of feel about her, which is kind of good. Yeah, intentional or not. She was a really extreme version of me when I get really drunk. And that was just her, you know, sober. No, she was just so out there. She just never censored anything she said. She just said it. And I kind of admire people like that because I'm not like that. So it was really freeing just to be able to just like go there, you know, and without anyone kind of shushing you away, you know. But you do run the risk of being too big with those shows. So it was about being big but finding the truth of the character so it still works, so it's still believable. Yeah. Well, people had a real love-hate relationship with my character because she was kind of annoying, but meant really well, you know. So, yeah, it kind of ranged for me from sometimes a bit of abuse, you know. People were really fond of a character I played across from, Tammy Davis, playing Munter. So, but it just shows how the show worked. And gosh, I must have been doing something right if people really felt that way, you know. I think people got to the point where they kind of, you know, the hardcore fans found it a little bit hard to differentiate between us and the characters. So, hence why you would never ever go on a forum for that show, because people were so passionate, you know. So passionate about where that's, you know, where it was all going. And Rachel Lang had actually seen me at the final screening of Outrageous that we held at Robin Malcolm's house and said to me, look, I've got this part that I've been writing and it's slowly turning into you. So you'll have to audition. I'm not promising anything, but I think she might be you. And sure enough, the audition came up about 6 months later and they kind of said to me, okay, no pressure, but you're kind of the benchmark for this character. There are other people auditioning, but they think it might be you. In a way, that makes it really hard, because what if I didn't get the part? I must have really sucked, right? And then, of course, you go along to the audition and you can hear all these other brilliant actors that I could hear saying these words that I was kind of like, oh, I really hope I get this. And I got it, which was really lovely. Nothing Trivial was the first time that I had been core cast. There's only 5 of us. You ain't hiding behind Robin Malcolm. This is it, guys. You know, there are only 5 of us around that pub quiz table. And it's really special to be, once you hit that, you know. It's kind of been the big one for me in my career. Yep, this is the one where I really feel like it's really scary. I'm on show, but it's everything I've got I can put out there and just really work it. And I have a real say. My relationship has changed on set with directors. I'm very proactive, more than I've ever been, about what is happening with my character and where I think I should be in a scene or on a journey, or, yeah, much more than I've ever been. Probably because I've grown up quite a bit as well.